Hello, it's some dust or something. I'm here today to do a showcase on the Metriacanthosaurus in Path of Titans. This is one of my all-time favorite playables, and that's for a number of different reasons. The first being that this particular Metri is Skyla, and she was the first dinosaur I ever grew in this game. So, a lot of love there, a lot of nostalgia. I do not regret starting with the Metri. I regularly recommend new players try the Metri if they haven't already. I think this is just a fantastic dino, and it's gotten a lot of changes recently that I think make it even better. Like the Latin, the Metri pretty recently, not in this update, but in one of the nearer ones, got a remodel. He looks very buff now. His arms did not used to be that incredible. The skins also got remapped, so it's a very good looking dino. Uh, the skins on this thing are awesome, and I'll get to that in a little bit. But first, let me give you kind of an overview of the Metriacanthosaurus. This is a very fast, medium-sized theropod, somewhere between like a conch and an aloe in size. You are not only fast, but you turn very tightly. You have an awesome turn. You have really good stamina. Your speed, unless it's changed in this update, the last I heard, the speed is 1150, which is only 50 points higher than a lot of the fast dinos in the mid tier. So you're very speedy. You can get away from most things. Get away from just about anything that's a threat to you. And you also, on top of having awesome stamina, good speed, and a tight turn radius, you have a pretty decent little jump there that you can use to get on top of things, to get away from creatures. It helps a lot more than you might think. So you're a really good escape artist as the Metriacanthosaurus. You can also take a little bit of a hit. You'd be surprised, even though you're not particularly bulky and you're a little on the lighter end. You can take more punishment than something like a conch can. So I'm going to go ahead and get into this thing's abilities for you real quick. We go to the character abilities. So on the head slot, they just added an additional bite attack. You now start with Viper Strikes, which is a 1 second cooldown, I think, or maybe even less than that. It's a very fast cooldown. And as you see here, light damage and venom. I am currently running Venom Bite, which they raised the cooldown on, so now it takes a little longer to use, but it does do that increased damage. Got a new animation for it. It's pretty cool. Senses, you have the Twilight Menace, 15% increased stamina regen during the night. A few dinos have this, and it is nice, even though stamina is not something the Metri really has to worry about. I didn't have the bar up earlier, but you can run for a while, and your stamina is going to be just fine. That makes this thing incredible for chasing things down over long distances. That's why a lot of group dinos love this thing. That on top of the fact that it does have that venom, which if you don't know how venom works, essentially when you bite someone with either one of these, it's going to apply the venom effect, which is going to drain their stamina for the duration that the effect is active. So you have awesome stamina, and you drain the stamina of other dinos. On the front limb, you have a claw attack. This is your major damage dealer. For metabolism, you only have hyper carnivore. Now, they just added a couple of hides. Obviously, you've got the default, but you can run lightweight if you want that extra speed at the cost of your turn speed and armor. I can see that being relevant to running a Metri because speed is kind of your ally, but the turn thing is a big deal. I like how quickly this thing turns, so I prefer to run Putrid Scales, which is where attackers take poison damage, as you see right there. I actually haven't been able to test this too much, but any extra damage is good damage, so very nice to have. And then on the tail slot, you can run Balance to increase turning, so if you wanted to put that with the thin hide to kind of make up some of that lost turning, I can see that being relevant, but I definitely recommend keeping the tail attack, especially now that it has knockback. It did not used to have this. But like a lot of the other dinosaurs with the Night Stalker update, it now has knockback, which makes it even better. I liked it before, it's even better now. And there is a voice slot, although no voice abilities yet. The Metri is a fantastic choice for several different things. I think it's a good general playable. I think it's a fantastic beginner dino. I think solo players can be very effective with this thing with a bit of practice. In groups, this is top tier group dino for sure. Just being able to lower things stamina and stay on top of them while doing okay damage with that claw attack and the tail that now has knockback. There's some super good utility there. You're heavy, but you're not so heavy that falls are going to absolutely destroy you. This is just really good for a lot of different situations. When it comes to matchups, as I like to say in these videos, and it's true, player ability is a big deal, although I have hunted all sorts of mid-tiers on my Metri. Even some of the sub-apexes. Really, it's just going to come down to being able to avoid those attacks, because like I said, you're not really frail, but you're not tanky either. So know what you're doing there, know when to duck out of a fight. Your regen on your health and stamina really isn't bad, so as long as you're careful and you take your time, you should be just fine with this guy. The way I kind of go about doing battle is, if it's something that maybe can outrun or, you know, outspeed or outstam me, I will start off with the bites, which if you wanted to run the other Venom Bite for that faster recharge, that's totally fine too. I think that's going to come down to preference. However, you know, that's for things that can outspeed or outstand me, but if I'm facing something that maybe can't outspeed or outstand me, I'll just switch straight for the claw. I just go straight for the claw. It hits wide, it hits low, so it's easy to hit things with it. It does more damage. I'm not sure if it does more than this new buffed Venom Bite attack. I would assume it does, but just a good move. Hits wide. So that's kind of how I go about it. If something's on you, say they're running after you, all you need to do is turn, hit them with the tail as you turn, and you can get behind them pretty easily with that turn radius. It's not very hard to outturn things, so that's why I like to keep the putrid scales and the tail attack, or, well, I guess you could run balance too, but I really appreciate the tail attack. That's why I don't run the thin hide, because I like all the turning radius I can get. Being able to turn fast is a huge deal for this thing. So yeah, I really love the Metriacanthosaurus. You are awesome in a lot of ways. With all that being said, I guess we'll get into the calls and animations now, starting with the broadcast. Then we have the heart call, the aggro, the alert, the low call, and for animations you have the shake it off, and a look around. When it comes to skins, this thing is some of the most incredible skins in the entire game, in my opinion. Like, even your default's not that bad. And then you've got Monitor, you've got Poison Dart, which lets you switch between red, green, blue, yellow, in any way you really want. A lot of people really love this skin. You've got Leopard Seal, you've got Banded, you've got Streaked, Stalker, Masked, Grooved, Albino, Melanistic, and Backer. And as you see here, I stand by loving this thing. You can see I have every skin and I have them all unlocked. This is unofficial. If that gives you any idea of how much time I've put into growing this girl and playing as her, it's a blast. Even as a player who... I've been on this game for about a year, and I've played it pretty consistently in that time. And even now, I don't really get bored of playing the Metri. This thing is just awesome. If you get enough practice in, you can punch up a lot. Really easy to farm trophies. Really easy to get around the map quickly. You can outrun pretty much anything that's a danger to you. And even if like you're low on stam and something's tailing you, you get a few of these little stamina draining bites off, you know, wear it down, and then you can just keep going. Your stamina is incredible. So yeah, that's really all I can say about the Metri. If you're a new player, I recommend it. If you're a solo player, I recommend it. If you're a group player, I recommend it. No matter what you're doing in this game, I think there's a little room for a Metri in your heart. So yeah, that's my glowing endorsement of what I think is one of the most fun and most incredible dinosaurs in Path of Titans. Hopefully this was educational for you. At the very least, I hope you enjoyed it. So thanks so much for watching, and have a great day.